So while we were buying tickets for Peninsula, Mrs. Cooking saw a poster and said, "I want to see that one next." And so we did indeed see that one next. That one being Outback, a 2019 Australian thriller written and directed by Mike Green and starring Taylor Weise and Lauren Lofberg. This is a 2019 very low budget indie movie that is just getting a release here in Vietnam. I imagine purely filling cinema schedules. So as always, let's first take a look at the synopsis before I tell you my thoughts. Will 2020 finally give me a good movie to review? Outback tells a terrifying tale of a young couple lost in the wilderness and fighting for survival. Wade and Lisa head to Australia hoping to recharge their failing romance. When their GPS fails, they leave their car and head off on foot to find a new route. As night falls, they must spend the night in the bush without food, water or weapons, surrounded by snakes, scorpions and wild dogs. Now, one decision could mean the difference between life and certain death. Let's get this straight. No, 2020 has not provided me with a good movie to review yet. People message me after I release these reviews and say, "Ian, do you even like films? Because you always hate every single film you watch." I actually love films. I actually love loads of films. There hasn't been a frigging good film in 2020 that I can review yet. They're all rubbish. This is a two-character movie. So you would hope that those two characters would be likable and you want to spend time with them. Yeah, no, not in this movie. They're just two obnoxious pricks. You will hate both of them. You will be cheering on the scorpions and the snakes and the wild dogs. Because, my God, I hated these people. You're just thrown into the middle of their relationship troubles. No explanation as to what they are. And then they make idiotic decisions for 90 minutes. And you'll have zero sympathy for them. This is also one of those based on a true story stories that is not based on a true story at all. It's completely fictional. You get a beginning card that gives you some information about these two people who are real, and then you get an end card that gives you extra information as to what happened after the events of the movie. But I googled this and they're not real. And watching the movie, if they were real, my God, they would be probably the lowest IQ people in the entire world. They'd probably be in some sort of mental health institute. Because the entire narrative of this story is them making about 10 decisions that no human being would think. No human being would make all 10 of these stupid decisions in one go. Maybe one or two. But if they don't make any of these stupid decisions, there is no story. And that is probably the biggest issue with this film, is the fact that the narrative is so anemic. It goes on for an hour and a half and nothing happens. Basically, two people make idiotic decisions. Two people you don't care about, frankly don't want to spend any time with. There's only 3 people actually have any dialogue in this film. It's desperate. Okay, so the good points. This movie is competently shot. There is actually some quite beautiful cinematography. Alright, that's helped by the fact that it's just shot on location in the Australian outback. But, that's it. The score is decent at times, but also that gets kind of obnoxious at other times because it's like trying to be like, oh, scary things are happening, but nothing is really happening because nothing happens in this movie. It's an hour and a half of 2 idiots doing stupid things. This isn't the worst movie of 2020 that I have reviewed, but it does get the award for having the 2 most moronic protagonists in the history of film. They are also really unlikable. It's a technically well-made film with beautiful cinematography at times, but the narrative is so anemic it is unbelievable. It's a 5-minute story. stretched out to an hour and a half of nothing happening except utter moronic decisions. I'm giving this 2 out of 5. It would be a 1, but I'm giving it 1 extra point because it is actually well directed and the cinematography is quite nice. I'm feeling generous, I guess.